speed. All right, sit here. What's going on?
Hey, fella. How you doing, fella?
So, dude, you've been in the industry long enough to see it evolve from physical albums to streaming and social media. How do you stay connected to your roots as a storyteller and performer in an era when the way people consume music is constantly changing like the way it has been?
Well, storytelling, I think, for me, really comes with a dose of metaphor. I think I like to be as undirect, I guess indirect, as possible with the theme, while still kind of staying in the general ballpark of what I'm kind of talking about.
Right.
And then I try to kind of merge the metaphor with something that's poignant or that happened to me in my life. For example, and this could, you could see this in a lot of the stuff that I write. With a song like, I want to say, Heartless. Heartless was, I was playing with the metaphor of Wizard of Oz and what it was to be a person that lives in the Emerald City. And then what it was like for the characters that were trying to get into Emerald City for the protection of the wizard. And at the time, there was a lot of turmoil in politics, a lot of attention being put on climate change and the divide between people in America. And I was like, well, what a cool way that it would be to bring in the metaphor of the Emerald City Wizard of Oz theme into, like a today's kind of thing. So I was playing with the lyric in the second verse where I say, I got no horse of any color, which it was kind of like Cars, of today. So I got no horse of any color. I got no mayor, got no any other kind of governance or leadership that I can trust, because the governance and leadership in Oz really wasn't all that it was to crack, all it was to be cracked.
Right.
All it was
Cracked up to be.
cracked up to be. So I say I got no horse of any color, got no mayor, got no any other kind of governance or leadership that I can trust. I got no dude behind some curtain with an ego bruised and hurting from a lack of confidence and wanderlust because he wants to go back home, just like Dorothy wanted to go back home. And with the Emerald Cities metaphor and the people living in Emerald Cities, it was so nice for them to be on the inside, and being on the outside seemed to really be where real life was happening. In Munchkin Land, and dealing with the witches and the trees throwing apples at you and flying monkeys and those kind of things. So, for me, storytelling really has to do with staying clever and staying mindful of and demure about the message that I'm sending and still trying to stay poetic.
You've always been known for your intense, energetic performances, but there's also a deeply emotional side to your music that is there a particular song or lyric that you've written that still hits you hard every time you perform it live, even after all these years?
Song or lyric that still hits me. Well, a song that comes to mind is Widowmaker. It's a song that I made about my dad who passed. And that one turned out to be a song that I can't play live. Too much connection, you get welled up, you really can't find the energy or get the gall to do it. I think that one's the toughest one for me to do.
And you've always been known, or excuse me,
Eyes twitching.
it's the same. question. Yeah, I guess it's the same question twice. Your lyrics often explore themes of resilience and survival. I'm curious, do these themes come from a personal experience of hardship, or are they more reflective of what you observe in the world around you? And could you share a personal story that found its way into a song?
Yeah, well, I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's personal, getting through tough times, strife. I think we all deal with it. Uh, you know, I I guess we all try to write music that connects with people. So, I would say "Alive and Kicking" is a song that I've written that a lot of fans connect with. Personally, it was after a really, really bad breakup, one I felt like at the time ruined my life, and people really, I think they felt that, and that it taught me a lesson about songwriting. That song, when I wrote it, I didn't think it was going to have that kind of effect. When we wrote "Bullet with a Name," I knew that it was going to get crowds moving. I felt like it could get crowds moving and get people excited about the sentiment behind it. But "Alive and Kicking," I didn't expect it to help people through cancer, help people through breakups.
Loss.
Loss. But I would say that one really sticks out.
That was six out for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to go off the cuff a little bit then, because that was the get to saying it, but with Arcade Assembly, you guys are really bridging the gap now in a very concrete way with the EDM and rock worlds. And you've been doing the rock thing for 30 years. And it's something that you obviously are, at your core of the roots that brought you into this world, but you've mentioned before that EDM is something that you also grew up with, and other types of music, hip hop, and things that you've always tried to take your other influences and put it and mesh it with the rock world. How excited are you right now to be doing some more electronic things?
Man, it is so exciting because I feel like the way it was when I got into rock, because I really wasn't a rock kid growing up. Classic rock, yeah, with my parents playing it around the house, but I really wasn't in rock. I was hip hop, pop music, and EDM at the time. Because at the time I was just coming back from Tampa, going back to South Florida, and in Tampa, the rave scene was exploding. So, I saw DJ IC, I saw DJ Hootie Hootia, I saw Kioki in front of 100 people, 150 people, after hours clubs. Club Ozone, shout out to Club Ozone. But coming up in Hammerjacks too. Hammerjacks, Ozone, Masquerade, Empire, lots of rave clubs. So I feel like I've been away from it long enough that it's going to be cool. I'm going to get that discovery that I got when I got into rock music, where all of my peers were handing me stuff like, oh, you got to listen to this, you got to listen to this. I feel like that's about to happen with EDM, where, oh, you love that, you got to listen to this guy and listen to this, because I've been away from it long enough. But I think Chris and I are trying to provide a service almost to the EDM world that isn't there right now, which is, two unique voices and two frontmen that are willing to play with anyone. So that's where the arcade side of the name comes from.
I love that.
Where, we just want to have a good time, and we want to write music with anyone that wants to write music with us. And we want to put out music of all kinds, because I love classic rock, I love hip hop, I love pop music, I love EDM, I love rock music. So I'm tired of everything being painted in such a hard corner where you're almost criticized when you step out of your norm, what they consider your norm. So I want to create a project and almost like an environment where it's welcomed and people are excited about it, and will reach out because they're like, Well, I've never had two voices like that to front my idea of music. I would love to hear what they would think of this, because normally they have to go to, they know what they're going to get usually, this particular one voice or this particular one, singing side or this one screaming side. And I feel like with Arcade Assembly, they're going to have, the pop side, the rap side, the rock side, the scream side, the R&B side, the soft side, the ballad side, the 80s vibe, the EDM vibe. It's like there's so many different, styles inside of Arcade that I feel like it's gonna bring people in. That's what we're looking
And
at.
I think the intersection of both of those worlds specifically right now is being made pretty available to both sides. Via Bad Omens, Bring New Horizon, incorporating more of that. And then then you have the Sullivan Kings on the EDM side, that they're an EDM DJ that's bringing rock and metal to the one. Sudden Death, another one. They have mosh pits.
Now, but imagine
What?
Sullivan calls us.
Right.
And then the three of us, imagine all three of our voices on something.
Right.
When was the last time you know what I mean? It's like, that's the kind of environment that we
And
want.
it's something that's, you guys bring a unique thing to the table. When I was mentioning this to Chris earlier, is that you usually in the EDM world have an entertainer slash front person that's a hype man per se, or someone that sings with the DJs, not both. And that's something that you guys bring uniquely to the table. So is that something that you guys feel like you can carve out your own niche with very specifically because of the way that you're doing it?
I think that's the goal. To create what we, behind closed doors in our conversations, call like a hook house, where you just have this place that you can go and go, hey, I have this body of music. I would love to hear what emotion and what words you express with these, templates, and then just start dumping music.
And on top of that, you're already world-class performers on stage, which gives you an edge over people who can just get up there and sing.
And that's going to be the
show.
Yeah, that's going to be the fun side of it for Chris and I. Chris and I are energetic and performance-minded people, and we want the stage to be super important to everybody, and for it to be exciting for everybody to come out and see us play.
Fun question then, how many years do you think, or what's the length of time do you think it will be before we start seeing Arcade Assembly doing arena tour?
Yeah, man, 2025, I hope. I hope that would be great. I'm hoping someone reaches out and wants to do an entire album with us, and someone looking for that's maybe just a producer or just a DJ, and would really love to create a different kind of show and a different kind of album with us, and I feel like that'll be fun.
If you could pick one DJ right now to do an entire album, would that be?
Right now, probably Eleni.
I'd probably.
Yeah. The vibe is there.
Okay.
The style, the differences in style, and I feel like it gives us the widest range.
And he's focused on songs, lyric-driven songs.
And music. It's very musical.
Very musical.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Did I go?
Yeah, that was great.
Questions?
Is that good? Yeah.
I'm
Good.
a pretty good interviewer.
Oh yeah, you're great at that.
That's
Yeah.
what Chad loved my interview.
Yeah. And you blew it. You blew it.
I blew it. It got deleted on the camera before I got the card because it was on that camera, and I only grabbed the pictures off that day, and I didn't take the videos before I was filming. I lost an hour